Today, we are going inside a secret room. You will hear the story of a girl who had no voice, but changed the world with her words. But pay attention. In this video, I will challenge your English. Can you answer the mystery questions in our quick quiz? Can you master the 5 essential expressions hidden in this story? Listen to the rhythm. Feel the words. By the end of this journey, your English will be stronger and your heart will be different. Let's travel back to 1942. Look through a small, dusty window at a gray sky in Amsterdam. It is the summer of 1942. The world outside is loud with the sound of soldiers and heavy boots on the street. But inside this building, there is a total, heavy silence. You see a girl sitting at a small wooden desk. She is 13 years old. She is holding a pen, and her eyes are bright with 1,000 thoughts. She is not looking at the soldiers. She is looking at a small book with a red and white checkered cover. This girl is Anne. Today, her name is known by millions. She is a symbol of hope and the strength of the human spirit. But before she became a voice for history, she was just a girl who loved to laugh. Anne was born in Germany, but her family moved to the Netherlands to find safety. She was energetic, sometimes a bit noisy, and she loved to talk. She had friends. She went to school, and she dreamed of becoming a famous writer one day. But the world was changing into a dark place. Because she was Jewish, the rules began to close in around her. She could no longer go to the cinema. She could no longer ride a bike. Suddenly, her simple life was full of no. On her 13th birthday, she received a diary. She called it Kitty. It was a place where she could finally be herself. Then, one morning, the secret door opened. To stay alive, Anne and her family had to disappear. They moved into a small, hidden space behind a bookshelf in her father's office. She was left with a very small world. She could not go outside. She could not make a sound during the day. She was a young girl full of life, now trapped in a silent cage, looking for a way to breathe through her words. Quick quiz. Number 1. What was the name Anne gave to her famous diary? A. Lilibet. B. Margot. C. Kitty. Answer. Kitty. Life in the secret annex was not easy. Anne lived in that small space for over 2 years. She shared the rooms with 7 other people, Imagine the tension. You cannot move. You cannot cough. You cannot even flush the toilet during the day because the workers downstairs might hear you. Anne often felt lonely, even when she was surrounded by people. She fought with her mother. She felt that no one understood her. But something amazing happened inside that silence. Anne began to grow. She wasn't just a child anymore. She became an observer of the human soul. She wrote about her fears, her first kiss, and her dreams for the future. She asked herself, why do humans go to war? Why can't we live in peace? She made a brave decision. Instead of being a victim of her situation, she chose to use her time to become a better writer. She rewrote her diary entries. She wrote short stories. She realized that her pen was more powerful than any wall. She was a young woman, side by side with danger every day. But her mind was traveling to the stars. She watched the chestnut tree through the attic window. She saw the light change on the leaves. She realized that even in the middle of a war, nature is still beautiful. She wrote one of the most famous sentences in history. In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. She was no longer just a girl in hiding. She was a witness. She was recording the truth of a dark time so that the world would never forget. She believed that her words would live on, even if she did not. Quick quiz number 2. How long did Anne Frank and her family stay hidden in the secret annex? A, over 2 years. B, 2 months. C, 10 years. Answer, A, over 2 years. In August 1944, the silence was broken. The secret door was discovered. Anne and her family were taken away. The diary was left behind, scattered on the floor among old books and papers. Anne's journey ended in a difficult and cold camp in 1945, just a few weeks before the war ended. She was only 15 years old. At that moment, it seemed like her voice was lost forever. But her father, Otto, survived. He returned to Amsterdam and found the red checkered diary. He read his daughter's thoughts and realized that she had a message for the whole world. Today, Anne's diary is translated into over 70 languages. Her story teaches us that silence is not the same as being powerless. She shows us that even in the darkest room, you can find a light if you look inside yourself. We live in a world that can sometimes feel scary or unfair. We feel small against the big problems of the world. But Anne reminds us that your voice matters. Your thoughts matter. She teaches us that kindness and hope are choices we make every day. She was a girl who lived in a cage, but her spirit was completely free. We often feel like we need to be famous or powerful to make a difference. But when we look at Anne, we see that a simple diary and an honest heart are enough to change the world. She reminds us to look at the beauty that still remains around us and to be grateful for the air we breathe and the freedom we have. As we reach the final moments of our story, let us look back at some of the useful expressions from the life of Anne Frank. These phrases will help you describe your feelings and your experiences. Closed in, meaning to feel surrounded or trapped by rules or a difficult situation. Example: when the project deadline approached, he felt the pressure closing in. Left behind, meaning to be abandoned or to leave something in a place after moving away. Example: in the hurry to leave for the airport, she left her keys behind. Surrounded by, meaning to have people or things all around you. Example: even though she was surrounded by people at the party, she felt quiet. Side by side, meaning next to each other, often used when facing a challenge together. Example: the two brothers worked side by side to finish the garden. In spite of, meaning even though something is happening, used to show contrast. Example: in spite of the rain, we decided to go for a walk in the park. Your journey with the English language is just like these stories. It requires patience, curiosity, and a brave heart. Every word you learned today is a step forward. Now, tell me in the comments, which of the 5 expressions was your favorite? Keep practicing, stay curious, and I will see you in our next story. See you soon.